you're joining me now, this is a continuation of the last video called exactly the same, to be fair. In post, I'm going to try and throw it together as one episode. So this will so people will know
It's still saying you're live on the other one.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wait, am I live on both? Well, this is
I'm really
weird.
confused with what's happening.
Your channel.
Speak.
Hello. I don't know how to do that.
How's this happened?
I don't know, but oh my god, on my first one isn't loading, to be fair. But on my first one, it's telling me that I've got a pinned comment from bloody Jimmy Broadbent.
Who's Jimmy Broadbent?
Some famous YouTuber with like 900k or something.
What, on the first one?
Yeah.
On the first one? Let me check.
The first one isn't live anymore,
but... no.
No?
There's no comment.
I'm gonna... Second one.
You can hear you on both of them, but they're both out of time.
Yeah, it's always going to be a second or two late. What? Right, guys, we're going to roll with it, and in post, I'm going to decide which one to delete.
Right. Now, hopefully, we can sort this out in the meantime.
Yeah.
But we'll carry on where we were. Where were we?
Talking about Michael Owen.
Oh yeah, how dependent we were on Michael Owen and burnt out players.
Hello?
Oh,
that's clear.
What is happening?
I have no idea. Anyway, carry
on. Yeah. I don't want to see Marcus Rashford and all that get burnt out.
No.
Because they're too good, and I don't want that to happen to them. I would.
Yeah. I
hope
don't think
Rashford will.
Rashford's already been through what, like 4 seasons now?
That's what I mean. He's already been through 4 seasons, and we've had so much of him in that time.
Night, Grandad. Yeah, will do. Alright. It's getting weirder and weirder. Yeah, but think of... So are you saying if he stays at United he'll get burnt out?
No, I'd say wherever he went.
Right.
I think wherever Rashford ends up, it'd be a tough situation for him.
Yeah.
I think wherever Rashford ends up. Why can I hear my own voice?
I was just checking if we had any comments.
Ah. Where was I? What we'll talk about next is the Harry Maguire situation.
Yep. I mean, it is in the name of the intro, so kind of had to.
Right. So, what's looking likely is Um, Harry Maguire was out in Mykonos in Greece, and while he was out, he was with his sister, Marcus Rashford, and a few others. And at some point, someone has tried attacking his sister with a blunt object, and Harry Maguire says he thought the man was stabbing his sister. So Harry Maguire responded by absolutely beating the guy up,
I mean, there's
and
no
one
other
of
way to
Maguire's
say it, is there?
and Maguire's friend also joining in on the beatdown.
Yeah. Did Rashford touch him?
No, Rashford was just there.
Okay.
But the main problem with it is Harry Maguire has punched a police officer
Yes.
in
Nice.
the whole thing. I'd suggest that whatever money he has, he pays off them Greek police officers
Yeah, he's
as
gonna have to
soon as
bail himself
possible.
out. Is what's gonna happen.
Well,
Because he's got the money.
you can't go to other countries and start beating up police officers.
No, of course not. You can't
Like, I
pay the
understand.
police officer because that's bribery. But as soon as he gets trialed, and as soon as he gets released on bail, and an amount is said for the bail, he's gonna have to transfer his money to his sister or his dad or something, and then get them to bail him out.
He
That's how
could
he's gonna have to
potentially be
do it.
facing. He might not be going to prison. He might not be.
No.
He could be facing a 90 grand fine.
Which
Now,
then again is nothing to him.
I mean, it's a loss for anyone. If I had like a billion and I lost 90,000 within a day, I'd be like, yeah, that's not great.
Oh, it's not
That's
great,
not
of
great at
course.
all. I, I just, I was so shocked to hear about it because Harry Maguire, for all that's been seen of him, a really nice guy.
Yeah.
Big old slather himself. From Sheffield as well. Yorkshire lad.
He is.
Near us.
He is.
Especially near you.
Yeah, I mean,
As
he
you.
used to live where I live now. He lived literally like about a 5-minute walk away.
I still remember Harry Maguire going to games with Trinity Stadium when his brother played for them on loan, and he led the chants in the stand.
He's a proper football lad, isn't he? Like,
Oh yeah, big old slabhead.
yeah.
See, I love him. He's been average this year, but I do like him.
Oh, I like him. That's for sure.
There's a complete opposite of what's happened. This one happened recently. Victor Lindelof was walking in Sweden, and what he has seen was a man robbing a 90-plus-year-old woman of her hand.
Hello, Billy, mate. How you doing?
Victor Lindelof proceeded to chase the robber, tackle him down, get him in a hold until the police could arrive.
Good lad.
So in one way we've got a man beating up the police, and the other one we've got a man helping them.
Yeah. On
Who's here? Billy?
Half. Billy's here, yeah.
Hello, Billy. Ask us some questions.
Yeah, drop questions, mate. Drop questions. I'm just gonna say now as well. The what's it called? The gameplay is just some CPU versus CPU. So we've had Daniel Cormier versus Stipe. and Cormier knocked him out. Then we've just had GSP losing by split decision, and now we've got, I can't remember who, it was Gacy, obviously because he's on stream, but I can't remember. Oh, it's Khabib. So that's the next fight.
I mean, we should also talk about Daniel Cormier,
We should.
as he
DC.
had his final fight,
He did.
losing to Stipe Miocic for the heavyweight title. In his last 11 fights, 10 of them was with a belt on the line. The only one being when he fought. Yeah. The only one that was on the title bout was his fight with Anderson Silva at UFC 200, which was a non-title bout. But Anderson Silva was a fill-in for John Jones.
John Jones is going up to heavyweight.
He is. John Jones is looking likely to be. The two names that they're thinking of are Derek Lewis, or what's his face? I forget his name.
I can't remember who called him out.
Jairzinho Rosenstruck.
I remember reading somewhere that it was it was Ngannou. Ngannou was saying how weird it was to see Jones going up to heavyweight. I mean, John Jones and Dana White don't have the best relationship, to be fair.
It's been up and down over the years. I mean, most of it being John Jones's fault.
Oh yeah.
Actually, no, I will say 95% of it has been John Jones's fault.
But he's one of the best champions the UFC's ever had, so...
And he's also a massive drug cheat.
He is.
And he's just a cheat generally. The amount of eye pokes he does. Speaking of eye pokes, actually, Jesus Christ, Daniel Cormier. I hope his eyes are alright.
I was reading up about like 3 days after it was reported that he still couldn't see out of his eye. So.
Yeah, it's not looking. It wasn't looking good for his eye.
Okay. No, DC like. Yeah.
But you can't complain a career like that, and he did poke Stipe twice in the other two fights.
We've got 2 more comments. Let me check this on the phone.
I'll check them now. Favourite UFC fighter?
For me, Ngannou.
Well, he's your favourite?
Yeah, he's the one that, it's just like, obviously I'm not that, I really like UFC, but I'm not very knowledgeable on it, but he's the one that I keep going back to. I mean, Sean O'Malley fights really well until 252.
Well, he came up against his first
actual decent.
I want to say decent, but it's not really that decent.
No.
Marlon, he wasn't a ranked fighter.
He wasn't even ranked. O'Malley was ranked 14 going into that, wasn't he? I think.
And then O'Malley has to get the stretcher to go off. Mate, you've twisted your...
Mate, we have literally just spoke about Champions League final. But we'll cover it. We'll cover our thoughts very quickly on it. Very good game, but not as many goals as we thought until we saw Bob. Keane actually said after 10 minutes is going to be a 1-0 win, didn't you? To Bayern.
Well, at 10 minutes in, I realised straight away that it was going to be a 1-0 win Bayern. The defence on both teams were on point. It took that one lapse of just awareness, and Bayern just capitalised on it. Manuel Neuer and Navas being near enough, well, Neuer being unstoppable and Navas being near enough unstoppable also helped the fact that there wasn't a high scoring game.
Yeah. For me, I gave my man of the match to Davis, and you gave it to Neuer, didn't you?
I did.
So that, but there is a first part to this because my internet dropped out for some really weird reason. So, if you want to see our Champions League final thoughts, it is in the first part. But please watch this live so you can keep asking us questions and then go watch afterwards. But yeah. Anyway, back to O'Malley, as you were saying.
Yeah, not impressed by O'Malley at all.
No, not at
Just before the fight, he was saying, "Oh yeah, as soon as I win this, I'm gonna get that new contract, and like he's gonna be worth so much more." And now you're not worth anything now.
I mean, you just lost to an unranked fighter. Like, for me, yes, he deserved to be ranked before the fight because of the results going up to it, but after the fight,
I did have O'Malley ranked. I have my own rankings for boxing and UFC and all that.
yeah.
I did have O'Malley ranked. I had him at number 15, but now he's gone swift down. I've put Marlon Straighten.
Yeah.
But if I'm being honest, am I surprised by the result? No. He was getting far too cocky for someone who's not even fought high level competition.
I mean, that fight is going to put him in his place now, and I think he's going to come back stronger for it. He was getting very cocky. I mean, in, what was it, UFC 250? Well, I can't remember who he was fighting, but he just knocked him out. Didn't even go in for the finish, just stood there. Like, that was cockiness, wasn't it? Like, you always go into finish just in case he gets back up. I mean, his coach wasn't happy with that one either.
Can't imagine who would be. I mean, he's now ruined his undefeated. Like,
Yeah.
he's no longer an undefeated fighter. 12-1.
12. Wait, he's had 12 fights in the UFC. 13 fights in
the UFC. No, not in the UFC.
No, his MMA is 12. Yeah.
Okay. No, his full MMA record's 12-1. But I think right now he should try and get a fight as soon as his ankle is recovered.
Yeah. He needs to fight
quickly.
255, 256 or something. He had a fight at UFC 255 or 256. I reckon Dana likes him as well, so...
Dana loves him. If O'Malley had won that, then he'd be climbing right now.
Yeah.
But now he's lost his O.
Yeah.
And now he's got to try and work his way back up again.
Yeah.
But do I think he could go high in UFC? No, I don't.
I think he's got the talent to. I just think his personality will stop him. He's definitely a talented fighter, obviously.
He's a world-class athlete, but he ain't got the right attitude about it.
Yeah.
Like, there's being cocky, and then there's being cocky to your detriment.
There's being cocky and then there's being stupid, and that's what O'Malley was going into that fight. He just underestimated his opponent. He saw his name in lights, he saw a new UFC contract if he won. And it's all gone to shit for him. He's going to have to come back stronger. Like I said, in losing, I think will kick him into gear and make him realise that he can obviously lose. That's now been proven. So
I think as I said, I think he needs to get a fight as soon as possible. Can he come back? Of course, anyone can win.
Yeah.
But am I now as excited to watch him fight? No, I'm not.
No.
Because I know the records don't really matter, but when you build up like you're unstoppable, and then you go and lose like that
Yeah.
in such pathetic fashion, it does something to what people think of you.
Yeah. That's for sure.
Like now, if I could build my own MMA card, I would not have him on there. Whereas before, I probably would have.
Yeah.
He does provide entertainment, but he's just been silenced, and now he's not said a single word since.
No.
I think. Oh, actually, no. So we do need to touch upon the most recent UFC event that did just happen. Frank Edgar with a big win against um, Pedro Munoz.
Yep.
Split decision win. I thought he did really well for what a legend he is. I would love to see Frank Edgar versus Dominic Cruz. That'd be good. Two legends going at it. Like, just take my money, UFC.
I love that.
What else happened on the card? There was a fair few good fights. The main one that people are going on about are Frankie, but I'd like to give a special shout out to co-main of when Mike Rodriguez took out a guy called Marcin Prochinio. Like, it was a good stoppage, and it looks like we got a nice little prospect for the light heavyweight division, especially as John Jones is leaving it.
Yeah.
Because they got
Do
to
you think
try
John
and
Jones
figure
could
out what they're doing.
win the championship at heavyweight?
Do I think he could become heavyweight champion?
Do you think John Jones could?
Nah.
Really?
No, I don't think he can.
You don't think he's better than Stipe?
No. I don't think he could get past Francis for a start.
Yeah, and I want to see Ngannou Stipe. Surely that's coming soon. Surely Ngannou's gonna have a heavyweight shot soon. Isn't he
It's the
ranked
next
one?
one.
Yeah, he's number one contender.
He's the next fight. Stipe has said it, like, Ngannou is the next fight. Ngannou said, I am fighting for the title next.
Yeah.
What Ben Askren said was Stipe versus Francis, and then Derek Lewis versus John Jones. I'd love to see John Jones versus Derek. The trash talk would be great, because Derek Lewis is hilarious.
Yeah.
My balls with that.
When's 253?
253. That is
It's coming up.
That's 1 month away. Hang on, when is it? I'll get the exact day up.
Let's see some
26th of September.
flyweight.
26th of September, Adesanya versus Paulo Costa, 13-0 versus 19-0. Someone's O has got to go. Unless there's a draw, I'm backing my boy Adesanya. Decision.
Yeah, I'm going Adesanya.
Also, this will be the first light heavyweight champion not called John Jones or Daniel Cormier
Since
since
2008.
2011.
Was it 2011? I
Yep,
swear
because
Cormier won it in
that
2008.
no, Cormier wasn't even professional in 2008.
What? Right, I'm just gonna shut up.
I mean, I'm right.
Oh yeah, I know you are.
Essentially, John Jones beat
But
Shogun Rua for the title in 2011
yeah,
after beating Ryan Bader. John Jones was the champion until obviously he got stripped of the belt through the whole uh, drink driving and crashing into a person. Then Cormier won it. Then Cormier defended against people. Then he lost it to Jones, but then Jones had to do a back Cormier for failing a drug test. Cormier had it, then vacated it, and then John Jones won it. And he's so for near enough the entire decade, it was run by Jones and Cormier, which is mental. I mean, it's just absolute crazy. I don't like John Jones one bit. I think he's a drug cheat, and I just don't like him at all. But I can't doubt that he is one of the best champions that they've had.
yeah,
But I think he's losing it. Before he was finishing guys, submitting them, and all that. He's not had a stoppage win since 2018 now.
yeah.
That's from being Gustafsson, and Gustafsson was out of the octagon for over a year. So I think his true last finish against a decent guy was against Vitor Belfort in 2012. Because obviously he took out Chael Sonnen, but Chael Sonnen was past it at that point. Obviously he finished Cormier, but then those changed to a no contest. Gustafsson, yeah, good finish, but the man had been out for a fair bit. So with Jones, but Jones is John Jones.
Yeah.
Cormier though, he's written his name into the pound for pound best.
Yeah. 100%. I mean, one of only 3 two-weight champions, right? Simultaneous two-weight champions.
There's been McGregor, Nunes, Cejudo, and Cormier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
They're
one
the
and then
only
him and then
ones.
3 others. Yeah.
Technically, there's been those who have won different belts in different weight classes, but they were at different times. BJ
Yeah,
Penn did it with
simultaneous.
lightweight and welterweight. George St. Pierre won the welterweight and middleweight title. Obviously,
St. Pierre's
Couture
meant to be
won the
coming back.
Yeah,
Again.
Khabib,
Yeah.
liable title. If St. Pierre wins, he'll be the first ever free-weight world champion. If
I
Khabib
don't see him
wins, he
winning.
goes 30. If Khabib wins, he goes 30 and when he retired.
Yeah. I don't. I mean, George St. Pierre is one of the greatest of all times. I don't see him beating Khabib.
I think he is the greatest of all time.
Yeah, like
He beat everyone he was in. He fought.
What's his record?
He's 26-2.
Yeah.
His losses coming to Matt Hughes, who he then beat twice. Then a loss to Matt Serra, which he then beat a year later.
Yeah.
Then obviously he's welterweight, and then he came back after 4 years to beat Michael Bisping for the middleweight title.
If he comes back, beats Khabib, does he just retire there and then, or does he defend it?
Oh, he'll retire.
Yeah.
Either way, the belt becomes it
Vacant.
goes in limbo.
Yeah.
Do I like the idea of him going to lightweight? Yeah, of course. George St. Pierre, I love it when he fights.
GSP,
It's been a
yeah.
while.
But
See, I was around when GSP was in his prime. Like, I was around 2009, 2010, George St. Pierre.
yeah.
Jesus Christ. You just I knew he'd win. And then that time against Matt Serra, when he lost, I was like, he'll come back and beat him, and then look what he did.
Yeah. I mean, if Khabib beats him, goes 30-0, does Khabib become greatest of all time?
Becomes the greatest lightweight ever,
Yeah.
I think.
I think he is anyway.
Ever. Yeah.
I think at the moment he is anyway. Like,
it is so rare that a fighter can go like 10-0 in MMA, let alone
29.
28. 28.
Is it 28?
If he beats Justin, he'll go 29. Then if he beats George, he'll be 30.
Oh right, yeah. I forgot
He's
he was
got a
playing
face
Justin Gaethje. Oh, if Justin beats him.
He messes everything up.
Yeah.
Literally everything will be ruined, and we'll hate Gaethje.
We will.
He's already ruined the Tony Ferguson versus Khabib fight.
Yeah.
Would I be surprised if Gaethje beat Khabib?
Probably
No,
not.
I wouldn't.
He's a very good fighter.
Hard fighter.
Yeah.
And the way he broke Tony he didn't knock him out like Clint, but Tony was finished.
Tony Ferguson, again, like, amazing.
One of the best fighters on the planet. One of my favourites.
I love Ferguson, but Khabib has to win. Like, would I love to see Justin as lightweight champion? Of course. But Khabib has to win.
I want him to win. If Khabib wins,
Mate, the
then
whole world wants him to win. The whole world wants to see GSP versus Khabib.
I don't like Khabib because I think he pulls out a lot. I still want him to win just so I can see George St. Pierre fight again.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the only reason.
It's like Joshua. I want him
lose.
to win his next fight.
Joshua.
Yeah, I want Joshua to win his next. I don't like him. I want him to win his next fight, so we get Fury versus Joshua.
Yeah. Who's he got next?
What, Joshua?
Yeah.
We don't know.
Right.
We don't actually know because Usyk is a mandatory, but the WBO has said, yeah, you can fight Fury first, but Fury's got to go through Wilder first. So Joshua just can't sit around and wait.
Wait. They're going for a third?
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
Fury versus Wilder 3's happening. People have known that since it happened.
Yeah, but they've already
To be honest,
a draw and then Fury battering him. Like,
Fury has tweeted Wilder going, where you are, I'm not waiting forever. So it could just push him aside.
yeah.
All they have to do is just pay him off. It's like, oh, here's 2 million. Yeah, we're going to fight Joshua now. Bye bye.
Again, I think Fury will win both those fights.
Oh, 100%.
I mean,
I think
obviously
he wins them all.
anything can happen in boxing under Ruiz Jr. But um, I j he's just too good.
To be honest, I think if Fury lost, I don't think people would care. Because at the end of the day, he's already won. Because what he's come back from.
Oh yeah,
He's
mate,
already
he's
won.
literally like the nation's hero, basically.
I remember when he won the world title, he was definitely not the nation's hero. From what he's managed to come back from,
Yeah.
and to get the people to love him, then it's something you see once, like, in a generation.
I mean, I'm not. I obviously I keep saying this because so people know I'm not that. I'm big into boxing, but I'm not like that big into boxing. From about I've only like watched boxing since 2019, but the fact that my sister who doesn't like boxing, my dad who didn't like boxing until he watched Fury Wilder, and my mum who hates boxing all like Tyson Fury. Like the fact that my family all like Tyson Fury, I think shows that like we are not a boxing family at all, especially my mum and my sister. And my dad wasn't until he saw what a fight, and now he's hooked. But like they all want Fury to win whenever he's fighting. They'll all watch a Fury fight now. Like that's just I think that just shows how much he's had an effect on people. Like his story.
Fury's story is undoubtedly a special one.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Still got no more questions in. I think Billy's left.
I think he may have done.
Good old Billy O'Connor. Been with us since the WWE days.
He has. Oh, I can't believe they're not making the 2K21.
But speaking of WWE, SummerSlam happened.
It did. Now, I don't know if I want you to
You
ruin it
didn't
or
watch
not.
it.
I was gonna watch it tonight after the stream. But if anything big has happened and you want to talk about it, you've got my permission.
Um, there's two matches I want to talk about,
Okay.
and that is Seth versus Dominic.
Yep.
Would you mind the spoiler on that one?
I wouldn't because I think it's kind of already been spoiled for me.
And
Because I've been told two bits of information that I think I can link to that, but go on.
the Fiend versus Braun.
Okay, you may talk about both those matches.
Okay, so we'll start with Mysterio versus Seth. Good match. Brutal. Very
Yeah.
brutal. I mean, Dominic can take punishment.
Yeah, I mean,
Seth Rollins. God. I know he gets a lot of criticism from the way he is, but what a superstar he is.
yeah.
Crazy. I think he's in this prime, right? No, actually, he's not even, because the rest of his prime is it like 30.
36, 37, I'd say.
Yeah, 36, 36. He's not even in it yet.
Yeah.
Really to think. Dominic, he's got years to come
Isn't he
now.
like... I'd say like 23?
What, Dominic
But I
Mysterio?
don't actually know. Because he could be
Yeah,
either
he's
18 or
23.
27. Okay, I worked
He's
that out
23.
because of the contract signing with Eddie. That ladder match. That's how I've worked that out.
Yeah, he's 23. Literally, he could be around for years.
Yeah. Oh my god,
He's a
Joanna just
superstar.
beat Shevchenko. by a decision. I wasn't even watching.
What? Real life?
No, not in real life. On my game.
No, seriously.
Could you imagine Shevchenko dropping the title? We didn't even know it was happening.
I'll go. What? What?
A new flyweight champion. Okay, we'll do Shang versus Joanna again.
Then,
But now
yeah, I
we'll
don't
do Andrade.
want to touch upon the street fight so much as it's a good one. I want to get on to the main event.
Okay.
The Fiend versus the Monster. You ready to hear what happened? Are you ready?
Yeah. Maybe I've got it wrong. But go on.
The Fiend again is Universal Champion.
Thank fucking God.
And it was so good.
Yeah.
Braun sold like a champ. The Fiend went with that belt again, looked great. And guess who came out?
Roman.
Roman Reigns.
I already knew this. I thought, because I got told, I woke up to messages saying Roman's back and oh my God, Roman's heel. I thought he would have come out at the Seth Dominic fight and started beating up Dominic. That's what I had in my head. But obviously he came out in the main event.
We have finally got heel Reigns.
Yeah, I got told that he turned heel. That's what I woke up to. Even though I asked for no spoilers from the guy, but you know.
This could make him into the top guy. It's exactly what
We've
happened
been
with his
asking
cousin
for a
Miller.
heel Reigns since about 2016. We've been wanting heel Reigns for about 4 years. Like,
And now it's it. I think he's going to excel. Because I remember him in the Shield when he was just that silent, cold assassin
yeah.
who would just kill you. And I think he should get a manager.
Yeah.
I really do. I don't know who. I don't want to make him a Paul Heyman guy.
I was about to say, it can't be Paul. Cannot be Heyman.
Don't want to be MVP because MVP is too
You
light-hearted.
can't have MVP.
For a character like Roman, he's a bit light-hearted. I just don't know. Can't have Rick. Rick's too. Well,
Flashy.
Rick's Rick.
Yeah.
Maybe. No, actually. Do you know what I would really do? Right. This is a long shot.
Right.
This is a long shot, and it might lead to some quite boring stuff. I'd bring the Authority back.
I kind of like it.
Because now they can literally... What they should have done originally was they should have made Roman Reigns in the Authority, not Seth. And they could have been like, yeah, this is the guy. And then people would have been like, oh, they're saying it to us. And they want us to hate him. So we're going to hate him. But...
Fuck it, I'm down for that. If the Authority I can't believe I'm saying this. If the Authority came back, I'd actually start watching Raw and SmackDown again.
Well, I remember I would watch WWE and then I had a break from WrestleMania. I think it was I had a whole year break from when the Undertaker lost his streak at WrestleMania 30.
Yeah.
All the way to 2 weeks before WrestleMania 31.
Yeah.
And the thing that got me interested was the fact.
To me now.
Yeah, and the thing that got me interested was Sting was there. I was like, oh, I can't wait for Sting to win.
Oh, mate, as if. Mate, he was a WCW guy. Everyone knew deep down in the heart that he was never going to win.
And I probably should have realised, oh wait, he's also 55. There's no real point pushing him.
No, but a win would have been nice.
Fair enough, if it was against a younger guy, then yeah, I've Sting lose.
It was against
But Triple
Triple
H,
H, like...
does he need... I still remember when the NWO came out, and I was like, oh my god, yeah. Why are they helping Sting? They hated him.
Yeah.
Like, literally the entire time of WCW, that Sting was fighting them, trying to get rid of them. Apart from when he joined the
It
Wolfpack.
just wanted to be NWO versus DX, and they wanted to sell pay-per-view buys off of that. For the people that didn't buy WrestleMania, they wanted them to see that in the headlines and then go back, buy WrestleMania for that moment. It's the only reason why it happened. Because if you see DX versus NWO, even now, you're gonna...
Hogan racism business.
Yeah.
Quickly regretted it. I mean...
And the sex tape. Throw that in there as well. Just everything Hulk Hogan's done after wrestling.
I've heard some stories about Hulk Hogan where he's met fans. Do you know what he does at meetups?
What?
He puts like a barrier and covers it with, like, he essentially you can't see him before you meet him, because apparently he thinks that if you don't pay, you don't deserve to see his presence.
Oh my god.
Like, that's the level of Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
And it's such a shame because as a kid, he was just everyone's hero.
He was everyone's idol. If you grew up in the 80s watching wrestling, you admired Hulk Hogan.
Even when I was younger,
whenever you grew up, like, okay, if you grew up in the 2010s watching wrestling, you know about the bad shit, but anything before that, like...
I watched his final ever match, because that was when I started getting into it, and it was at SummerSlam 2006 against Randy Orton.
Yeah.
And I just remember hearing it.
That would have been when I was...
And I was like, yeah! And at the time, I was like, when he won, I was like, yeah, this is great. Now looking back, I'm like, wow, he really buried him.
Yeah.
Literally, I've just... The political side of wrestling with him came out far too much.
He's, like... He was an arsehole backstage as well, like...
The problem was you couldn't do anything about it because he was the guy.
Yeah. It was kind of like how Triple H and Shawn Michaels used to be.
Yeah, with the Click. Shawn influenced Vince in the 90s. It was Hulk Hogan in the 80s.
Yep,
Shawn Michaels in the 90s.
Triple H in the early 2000s.
Triple H in the early 2000s. John Cena in the in the late 2000s and early 2000s. And then since then, it's just been, there's not really been anyone to like influence.
No. But then again, like, the only reason John Cena got pushed is because Stephanie liked his rapping.
Vince also loved him because if you look at him, like, he's a good-looking fellow. He's big and muscly. He's the perfect role model.
Vince didn't like him before the Thugonomics stuff.
Yeah, he was about to be released, and he issued this character, and then it saved him.
Yeah,
and then the rest is history.
Yeah.
He was the guy from 2004 till about, actually I'd
13,
say,
14.
well, he's been there since 2002, and he's still one, like, if you say WWE, you think John Cena.
Yeah, but if you say WWE, you also think Hulk Hogan.
Exactly. That, like, he's
Stone
that level.
Cold. Yeah.
He is that level. Cena, people need
If
to
you
realise that
say,
Cena
right,
is an icon.
I'm gonna say WWE, name the four first people that come to your head, and they're probably the same as me. Go.
Hulk Hogan,
Yeah.
John Cena,
Yeah.
The Undertaker,
Yeah.
Shawn Michaels.
Okay, for me, the first four people I thought was John Cena, The Rock, Hulk Hogan, Taker. The fact you didn't name The
I forgot
Rock
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
and The Rock, I mean,
I no, yeah, but to be honest, I think Rock's now too far into Hollywood.
yeah, that is true.
Like he is literally left. He has left that life behind. Cena, he's in there, but he also comes back. Like, and he still wrestles.
Yeah.
Whereas The
He's
Rock,
still
literally, he could never go in a ring again.
no, because all of his like companies that he works for has fucking so much medical bills on him. If he got injured
That
in a
Hercules
WWE
film,
ring,
amazing.
yeah,
You know, when he was making Hercules, he got injured in Cena versus Rock second match,
yeah,
and they had to hold back filming for like 2 months, and I was really unhappy.
yeah.
Like, it's a huge risk with him.
The problem is as well, he
For
always has a
Cena,
film lined up.
yep, he's the most busy man.
Yeah,
That's the thing, he never turns down a role, which is kind of a bad thing as well, because in that one thing, good thing he does, he'll have like four bad ones out.
yeah.
Like, yeah, he had
That's
CIA,
why
which
he
was
was
really
paid.
good. He had CIA, which was really good, and then you get like Jumanji.
Jumanji was good. I mean, it was no central intelligence, yeah, but Jumanji is still good. I enjoyed it.
Nothing. Jumanji, The Rock Jumanji was nothing compared to Robin Williams Jumanji.
Yeah, again, I agree with that statement, but no one's gonna beat Robin Williams.
It was
No one.
recently the anniversary of when Robin Williams killed himself.
When was
It was
that?
recently the anniversary for that.
Yeah.
6 years ago. Literally, I remember when that happened. No idea. No idea he'd be like that.
No. You think
I
he'd be
guess
so
everyone
happy?
thought he was happy.
Yeah.
Problem with comedians, they feel the need to make everyone happy all the time, and then they won't focus on themselves.
Yeah, and it's their job to act happy as well. That is a comedian's job.
There's,
Like, and if you're acting
it's.
happy, you almost forget what happiness is.
I
Which
mean,
is really, which is a sad truth.
I'm sure Disney were happy when he died because obviously they had their massive fallout and they could cream off his death from Aladdin. Did you know what? Do you know why Robin never did Disney again?
I actually don't know.
Because obviously when he did Aladdin, the genie took over, didn't he? It was the like everyone was talking about the genie,
Yeah.
and he asked the executives of Disney, don't just use me as promotion.
Yeah.
Like, don't use my name. Like, you can put my name on the cover, but don't like make it solely like, oh, Robin Williams is in this.
Yeah.
Um, at first they did that, But then they started selling merchandise with Robin Williams' voice without permission. So Robin was angry at them, and then he said he wouldn't work for them again. Then Disney just proceeded to use Robin Williams' name all over the place.
Yeah. When he specifically got asked not to.
It's a dodgy situation. And obviously, the most recent Aladdin that came out, Will Smith, I think he did a fairly decent job.
Yeah.
I mean, not quite Robin Williams, but Robin Williams would have been happy with it.
Yeah.
I think the best video about. Have you ever heard of Coco the Gorilla?
I've heard of it. I think I've heard of it from
Co-
you, actually.
Coco's a gorilla who could, like, speak sign language and, like, she could, like, do 1,000 words. So you
Right.
could, like, have a full-on coherent conversation with her.
Wow, okay.
And she got a visit from Robin Williams was a favourite comedian,
Yeah.
and Robin went to go see her,
Oh.
and they just connected straight away. There's a bit where they're just sitting together, and Coco gets up and just points to Robin and like gesturing to him. Robin's like, "What's happening? What's happening?" And the translator is like, "She wants you to tickle and chase her," and it's great. And Robin just starts tickling, and you can see the gorilla laughing, and it's like mental. But
Coco the Gorilla.
a sad note, yeah, a sad moment was when Coco found out that Robin Williams had died. Oh, it's so sad. Because it like pauses for a second, and it's like realizing what's happened, and it's just like sad, bad, sad, and it does like the crying like thing. Oh, it's heartbreaking. Honestly, when this is done, watch Coco the Gorilla. It's you'll be mind blown.
Yeah. I've literally just been looking it up.
And of course, he had the two huge knockouts over Cody Garbrandt, but even the way he dominates perennial contender types like John Lineker and Rafael Assunção, Dillashaw, when he has it all going, he is
Right,
as
let's save
tough
that and I'll
as
watch it
anybody
later.
at 135 pounds.
I think a good thing to do is answer Billy's question, which is favourite film and who's our favourite comedian.
Oh.
So I'll start with favourite film. My favourite film ever is The Godfather. Best film ever made. Al Pacino, just brilliant. Marlon Brando, the role of his career. Oh, just James Caan. Everything was perfect. There's nothing bad. I think the second one is better, but I prefer the. If I had to pick one to watch, I'd pick the first one.
Yeah.
Because the trilogy is great. The first one, amazing. The second one, even better. Third one, not as good as the first and second, but still a decent one.
Yeah. Whereas
What's your favourite film?
my favourite film, probably the one that I will keep going back to the most and rewatching the most, is Fast and Furious.
Which one?
The Fast and Furious, the first one.
Oh, the first one.
Yeah.
That's really your favourite film.
Yeah.
What about the film makes you like it?
Obviously, as a massive like car fan, it's a film about cars, but I don't
Yeah.
know. The first one kind of paves the way for the whole trilogy, and it is one of my favourite trilogy of films. I'm gonna say one because obviously I'm so
Well,
BTEC and
it's
Lord of
more
the
than a
Rings.
trilogy.
Yeah, I can't. I don't know the full name for it.
That
Anyone have
moment.
any idea what's going on right now?